Welcome back. Python and C++ are very popular programming languages. But how do they compare in 2022? Well, let's take a look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of these programming languages in 2022. Whenever I look at a new programming language to learn, I always look at the ecosystem of that language. Essentially the amount of tutorials, projects I can build as a beginner. Luckily for you, this language has a huge community behind it. Without a doubt, if you're planning on learning a new language, you will find many resources for this language. One of the main advantages of using C++ is that this language is still one of the most popular programming languages right now, even though it's several decades old. Check out the TIOBE index below that breaks down the most popular programming languages right now. Although it may not be as popular as it was before, it's definitely still worth learning for sure. Another big reason to learn C++ is the amount of jobs, the salary with this language. In fact, this article one wrote a few months ago breaks down the languages with the highest salaries. And C++ was on that list. You can check out that article below. One huge reason to use Python over C++ is the massive community behind Python. C++ still has a big and growing community as well, but I feel like whenever I have a problem with Python, I'm able to find more solutions within Python than C++. Also, I've found that there are more packages available for Python plus more documentation as well. So if you're always running into a lot of issues when creating projects, maybe Python may be a better way to go. Although machine learning can be done with C++ and Python. Almost all of the machine learning projects I've built was built out using Python just because of the documentation, packages available. From what I've read, a lot of these machine learning packages are built out in Python first, then pretty much rolled over to other languages. So, if you're planning on creating a ton of machine learning projects, Python may be the better way to go. From my many minutes of experience with Python, I've found out that way more companies, people, teams, etc. use Python for projects more often than C++. Honestly, even on my personal projects, even ones I write about on Medium, tend to be in Python more frequently since I assume more people use Python over C++. And since its rapid growth, overtaking many other languages, it may be a better option to learn over C++. Both of these languages have their advantages and disadvantages. I believe learning both of these languages is an awesome thing to do. Which programming language do you plan on using? I would love to hear your thoughts about this. If you have any suggestions, thoughts, or just want to connect, feel free to follow me on Twitter. Also, below is a link to some of my favorite resources for learning programming. Thanks so much for reading.